go. Alright, so, hello everybody, I'm Raven Effect 176, and this is episode 6, I think? Yes, that sounds about right. Of my Dark Souls 3 Projectile only run. What we did yesterday was we did the Abyss Watchers, and we did the Crystal Sage. I'm not particularly proud of how much trouble I had on the Crystal Sage. I usually never have trouble on him. But then again, I usually don't do this build either. So, definitely a unique experience. Hoping to have an easier time through the Cathedral of the Deep. That's what we'll be doing today. Gale, I don't want to hear any of your talking. Did I get that item? I did. Okay. So, we're going to be doing the Cathedral of the Deep. And for those who are new to this, what I'm doing is weird projectile basically using bows. What I'm doing as far as projectile only is I'm using bows, sorcery, pyromancy, and miracles. So that's what we're doing. So going basically through the Cathedral of the Deep. And then depending on how quickly we get through this, I'll probably start. I will probably, oh my lord. Alright, I will say now that this build does not do good against invasions. It just doesn't. I'm not good enough already as it is to handle invasions, so when somebody invades me, it's kind of the end of the world for me, which kind of stinks because I wanted to at least get off on the series on a good start on today, but it looks like I might have to postpone starting good. And get these items over here. I know for this particular build, not really worth it, but it is what it is. Oh. Oh, that just was the worst thing that could possibly happen. So, well, I don't have to worry about the guy invading me anymore, so... Okay, we're starting today off on an amazing note. Bah. Oh well, it gets better from here. That means that everything else will be better from here on out. At least that's what I'm believing anyway. Well, that just... my accuracy sucked on that one, but my accuracy sucked on that one. Now the question is, should I go back and get my souls? It was 900. I usually don't like to waste souls or let souls go. That's not going to be good. So everybody could be set up here. Benefit about fire orbs. Aw, there we go. So we at least cleared out. Guys, well, they do this. And I went the wrong way like a moron. But I thank you everybody for who's been coming out and watching this series. I'm new to all of this, so streaming to me is just fun, and for me, I'm doing it strictly because, I mean, I love video games, and I think if I love video games, I might as well play them for everybody to watch at my misfortune, or laugh at my humor, or the humor that's sometimes there. So, I gotta be careful about this next part because they got this Grave Warden that's over here, and he does a ton of damage. And I'd rather not get KO'd by him. I'd rather not. I mean, it could obviously happen, but I'd rather it not. That's always a plus. That is always a plus. Now we're going to come down here. There's an undead bone shard down here. There's also a white birch tree. So what does that mean? That means our lovely friend the giant will be helping us. Should be helping us anyway. If he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He's not obligated to help me. I would like him to, but not obligated. So just about everything in this area is weak, or has no real defense for fire damage. So we're going to utilize fire in just about every single way we can think of. Okay, so now we made it out of that part. So now if we go this way, go this way. I'm going to open up a shortcut here. And the shortcut is going to... So first we'll grab the Curse Ward Great Shield. Anything, I love the item description of the Curse Ward Great Shield because it basically says that by using this, you're showing the futility of being able to block curse, and that nobody really can. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of encouraging. Alright, let's slide down here. Alright, now we recognize this area basically means we have these guys. Sometimes they'll see you, sometimes they won't. I'm going to try to get this Titanite lizard that tried to escape my wrath last time. And he will not be so lucky this time. I hope. Twinkling Titanite. Again, saving that for when I get the bows later. Both great bows that I plan on using. One is the Oni Slayer great bow, and then the other one is, if I decide to go into the DLC Ashes of Ariando, they have the Millwood great bow, which does a ton of damage. And I would very much like to be able to do a ton of damage. I have no problem. It allows me to do things that I couldn't normally do, which is massively hurt my enemies. Which I'm always for, because I'd rather massively hurt them than them massively hurt me. I'm just... And I thought I got you, and that sucked that I did. So I'm rather discouraged at that point after that. But we'll keep pressing on. There's not really anything I can do, so... Disgusting, it's horrible. It's the worst. It's the worst. Absolutely worst thing in the world. Kill you. think that was just me just flat missing. I think that was more my lack of skill in that moment. Ah, shoot. Okay, I didn't kill you because it was about to be really, really bad. If he would have hit me again, I don't know if I would have survived that. And then there's the blood loss, and then it's just, ugh, it just gets bad. Hopefully these things leave soon. And then they disappear. How thoughtful. Okay. Now we're going to utilize the bow. Because we got the sniper dude. Who apparently is way better shooting than me. I'm not too keen on the fact that his arrows can curve. I'm not really. But then again, I'm also not hitting, so I'm also doing a terrible job. Ah, cool, he's dead. Okay, we won. We did it, yeah. And I still suck at shooting. Which is not a good quality to have, especially in this game, especially when you're doing a bow run. This dude's got some beefy amounts of health, which I'm not too fond of. Okay. Alright, we need to stop sucking. Right now would be great. And right now would have been great. Okay, fire. All the way. Die. Played this long enough. Okay, so... Oh, Sucker has a flame sword. Sucker who had the flame sword is now dead. Throw the fire out. Posibow's going to get a little bit of a workout here. I want to make sure I don't have these little things trying to swoop down and kill me. They suck. I'd rather not deal with them, but I have to deal with them. I don't profess to be really good at Dark Souls. I just love the game, so I play it. I think that's really all you need, is just to love the game. And he just glitched to his death, which is cool, which is very cool. I appreciate that. Shouldn't have dropped your shield, Holmes. Alright. Well, watch out over Unknown Traveler. No. I mean, he may want to commit suicide, but I'd rather not try to dodge him. I got rid of all the gremlin things. Well, and now we have to deal with these guys, and these guys are royal jerks just because they're trying to shoot me. They don't have a ton of health. They're snipers, so you don't ever expect snipers to have a ton of health. I mean, heck, just look at my health. But they will die. Oh, you trying to get sneaky, trying to shoot me while I'm taking care of the other one. I see how it is. And I'm still sucking. So I'm not particularly fond of that. I definitely gotta get better. So there's one guy who's here, and I'm trying to look for him because I'd rather take him out from a distance. But it does not look like they will give me that chance. So that sucks. So block it, huh? Fire to the face. Dead. That's what I think about your shield. Okay, so... I thought that was another dude. And I was about to... Okay, now this guy... I'm gonna shoot him from a distance because I'd rather, again, deal from a distance than right up close. Because he does that. And I don't much like that. So now I gotta be very careful because this dude decides to go all combo breaker on me. And his combo lasts forever. That's what the other one was trying to do, and I just didn't give him a chance to. But yeah, that he'll jump out there and literally combo you into oblivion. It's a real fun time. It just is. So we're running low on stuff, which is natural for this time. Okay, so I'd rather not deal with her. So if this thing will let me shoot her, I will shoot her. It's one of the evangelists. Thing is that move actually has a huge hitbox. Collision detection doesn't necessarily help it. Okay. She's dead. Hooray. These guys will more likely try to commit suicide here eventually. Yeah, the item you get down here is really not worth it, but, I mean, they're souls, so it is worth it in a way. Okay, those guys are dead. Oh, you have a shield. I don't much like you. Okay. So, you thought we got all these guys. Not really. There's still two of them chilling in here. So a quick arrow to the head will solve that problem. Okay, see, they try to throw... That's what the Undead Hunter charm is. Is it stops you from being able to use healing or do healing in any way, or use Estus. So those are particularly bad. But so we've cleared out this area for the most part. But as you see here, we still have some. These guys drop a good set of twin blades that I use almost in every single playthrough at least one time, because they're just really good. They do bleed damage and they attack real quick, and it's so worth it. That was close, almost exactly. And nice little subtle. So because our luck's not high and we don't really have anything that's better, that increases drop rate, they're not dropping anything. It's a rare drop for those 20 minutes. They're worth it. Definitely doing a dex build. They do a ton of damage, and they do bleed damage, and you can customize them with the sharp gem. That is given, that the ability for that is given to you by the character, and you can scale it up to A. I think it scales to B or A, one of the two, in dexterity. So it's worth it. Now, normally I would go in there, but that guy, the guy with the axe there, will jump out at you. And will do a crap load of damage because he's using the great axe. And the great axe is solid. It weighs a ton, but the great axe does a lot of damage if used correctly. I usually don't use it because by the time I have enough strength to use it, I already have the demon axe. And if I'm going to use an axe, I'm going to use an axe that does multiple things than just does. Oh, hello, where did you come from? Hold on, let me handle you. Okay, so now we are up in the Cathedral of the Deep. The actual cathedral part, and those guys are worthless. They are not worth my time. So we've actually made good time going through all this. And so here we're meeting some of the deacons, and they do the fire, which is not too much to really deal with. It's more of a nuisance than it is actual pain. There's two paths going out here. That path is the way we have to go. This path is a shortcut that leads back to the cleansing chapel, that area that we started in the first bonfire. So all we have to do is open this. Then open here. We are here. So now we go to a difficult part to try to get past. Is now we're going to have a giant that does not like us, does not like the fact that we are here. He's a prisoner. And he's right there. And so you gotta try to keep your eye on him past the hard part. Because okay, so what that giant does, that is a real pain in the butt. Okay, so we have, let me take care of this mimic real quick. Now we have a mimic. I have died on this mimic with making fatal errors, almost like the one I just did. Divine Tome. That teaches dark miracles. Those are definitely useful. I got some guys hanging around here, so we're going to utilize this bow. Do some headshots. Okay. The thing will drop on you if you go right over top of it. So we're just not going to do that. Okay, now the part that I normally really struggle with on doing is this part up here with the evangelist. She's in closed quarters, so she really likes to swing her mace. And again, if I don't suck, she loves to do this. Oh shoot, I don't want to roll back towards her. Yeah. But she will not, she rarely use her magic in that spot because she's so close quarter, she just swings that thing. And that spiked mace does a lot of damage. And you could get her spiked mace. And that's why we open this, because, I mean, you get an ember when you go up there, so it's worth it as long as you're not wasting embers to go up there. I try not to stay ember too much in areas with deacons because it tends to be the Ultra Faithful tend to come out in droves, and I'd rather not deal with being invaded every 2 seconds. So we have the giant again. Forgot the wood sword ring. So now we can get lucky. I've had him punch me in that area. He took out the guy who was going to be chasing me. So I'm perfectly fine with that. Now I want to go up here and get my souls. It's 15,000, so it's definitely worth it. Normally, if I die in the cathedral, I die because of this particular encounter. Either not being fast enough or just her demolishing me. And the demolishing part usually comes because she really doesn't stagger, so she can stagger you for days. More hit. Got her. There we go. That's how that fight's supposed to go. Then we got the spiked mace. Of course, again, this playthrough doesn't really help anything. So, take care of you. Good. Sometimes if you kill those guys, they'll refill the Estus, which we will take all day long. But okay, so now we've taken care of the mimic. We've taken care of the mace wielding evangelist who wants to end my life. And so now we can take care of these guys so they don't drop on us. There we go. Because now we're going to go down there. And I'm going to have a hard enough time inflicting damage on this guy because of the nature of who he is. The Cathedral Knights are very strong. You can easily dodge them, but it's it's kind of tough. They have tower shields. When they use... Also, shoot, he delayed that one quite a bit. I can do the healing thing too. Alrighty. Oh, interesting. That was bad on my part. I misjudged that completely. My bad. So, I'm sorry for that horrible display of how to take out a Cathedral Knight. That was bad. Unfortunately, in that situation, the pyromancy is going to definitely be more effective than the bow. That's just the nature of this thing. The reason I want to get this place done as quick as possible is because then the next place immediately following this is the Catacombs of Carthus. And what the Catacombs of Carthus opens up is the lava pit. The reason the lava pit is so significant is because that is where I can find my Dragon Rider bow. And my Dragon Rider bow is the bow that I do most of this game with. It has out of just a single attack at full strength, it can do 200. And I'm gonna have a good amount of Titanite scales because it's considered a boss. It's considered a boss weapon. Because if you play Dark Souls 2, you know that the Dragon Riders. You know that you fought the Dragon Riders, and the Dragon Riders the Dragon Riders had 4 weapons you can get: a bow, a shield, a twin blade, and a halberd. I will say, in all my times of watching the Dragon Rider or playing Dark Souls 2, I never... That was my chance. That was my chance, and I blew that one. Okay. They actually, when they're not defending, take actually a pretty sizable chunk of damage. Okay, so that was good. That was a good fight. Much better than the one I had previous. Now, I'm probably going to Ember here. I'm going to see what happens with this thing. Because this thing can definitely wreck me. That little thing sitting right up there. He can definitely give me a hard time. We got an Ember that's in here. But see, he falls. Much to my displeasure. These things are erratic. Headshots are the way to beat them. So I will use an Ember. It was an Estus Flash Shard in here. I had already gotten it on the previous stream, so we don't need that. But the reason I Embered right here is because there is an NPC that tries to challenge you. Longfinger Kirk should be coming out here any second now. There we go. Now what's significant about Longfinger Kirk is he is one of the Fingers of Rosaria. That is the group that you can join this area. the spiked armor. So, it gives you the barbed sword. Okay, so now, next part is we can go slay this giant. Well, we can go try to slay this giant. We shouldn't have a problem. Again, he can take damage from just about anything. They have a good amount of health. So, I mean, we'll see what happens here. I would love to be able to take care of the giant. Lucky that he's a giant and he's tall, because that shouldn't have hit anything. Just gotta watch out for him. Get stepped on. This is actually the easy. There's 2 giant fights in here. And there's one in the profane capital. That one's a little tough. Dead yet. Yep, okay. So you get a good amount of experience, so they're definitely worth killing. You have large titanite shard. They give you 4 dung pies. The dung pies are definitely expendable. And then you get the maiden robes and the maiden gear over here. And there's one other thing you can get past this point, past that door right there, and so you consider you're going to be over encumbered when you're out here. You get Soul of a Nameless Soldier. Get a few things out here. But the boss of this area is the Deacons of the Deep. They are a horde boss. Normally I will fight them with Henri and Horus. It's one of the only times you could summon them or fight, and they do a lot just to do crowd control, because it can get overwhelming. And for anybody who watched my playthrough trying to kill the Crystal Sage, trying to go magic on magic in a ranged battle with magic users is not good. In fact, it's the opposite of good. It's actually rather painful. So, I don't have a lot of health right here. There's one more giant fight, and that is the more obnoxious of the 2. That is the more obnoxious of the 2, because now I got little puddles. I have those little blobs that I said were useless earlier. They are down here in abundance. So, not necessarily a fun time. This opens the other door in the Cathedral of the Deep, or in the Cleansing Chapel area. So it's another shortcut. That way you don't have to go through facing the giant again. You don't have to go through all that stuff. You can just go this way. Plus it leads to the upstairs part, which we will get to in a second. There's a certain order of events I don't want to screw up, so... And if I go up there and do all that stuff, I will wreck the order of events. As many people like to invade this place, there's a ton of people who like to set their signs down in this place. And it's interesting to see. I usually try to summon the Sunlight Bros to get the Sunlight medals. But we'll go that way in a little bit. But we need to do this order of events first. Oh, yeah, I had killed you the last time and I forgot about you this time. There you go. Okay. Okay, see, we got one more giant fight. Not a huge fan of it. As you see, these little blobs already. Okay, see, you can try to do damage on the giant all day long. He doesn't actually aggro. He doesn't actually start taking damage until he aggroes. Okay, like I said, the more annoying thing about this is the blobs. The blobs suck because they will attack. This giant fight is really hard. I wouldn't say hard as much as I would say irritating. Challenging is probably the more appropriate word. Slimes in their ultimate troll state. I really didn't know you can get him out of the muck. Killing the giants obviously gives large titanite shards. Those are worth it in every single way. Pale Tongue is the offer to Rosaria. And now we got the mangrubs. The mangrubs are interesting. See all those slimes trying to be all sneaky like. Okay, so we are almost to the Deacons of the Deep boss fight. And there's a lot of souls right here, and I want to level them up. And I want to level up. There's this thing with a quest, though, and I really don't want to screw that quest line up. Come around the corner. Stagger them and get them to lose their shield, then these guys are not too terrible. But if you allow them to get a ton of momentum on you, those guys will sit there and eat you for breakfast. These guys right here are the ones you really have to be worried about. Really? Interesting. Okay. I like the fact that my camera decided to have a moment of weakness there. That wasn't good. That was definitely far from being good. That was actually rather painful and actually rather terrible. But why are we going that way when we should be going this way?
Who have no place to call their own.
Questions I ask myself. It's just easier to take those guys out before you just try to charge the deacons in the deep. Again, there's one storyline quest that you can activate. It is Siegfried's. For anybody who remembers Siegfried from the beginning of the game, his quest line is continued here. And so it's just different things you have to pay attention to if you want to continue that quest line. It's kind of hard. It's hard because you have to part away with your souls. And by this point, you have a decent amount of them, to where it's rather painful to. The main group doesn't want me going anywhere. All right. So at least they're nice enough to at least let my soul stay right here. Got those guys out of the way. I'll take Titanite shards. I have no problem with Titanite shards. Better than the last time. Oh, really? Oh, you're one of the shield guys. You're barely living. Okay. Oh, we got another emperor. Hooray. Okay, well, we can go up there, and we can deal with the deacons, and we will, and that's going to happen. It's going to happen soon. And another thing that we have to do beforehand. If we want to continue this quest line. And it's also to open up a shortcut. You have to go open this door to trigger said event. So let's see. So now, looks like we have someone dressed like Siegfried. So, but you notice he talks a little bit different than Siegfried. Go over here. Oh, lo and behold, it's not Siegfried.
Shame on you, you greedy guts.
If you've played any game, Dark Souls game beforehand, you will know of our good friend Patches.
You could outwit none, you.
By a good friend, I mean Jerkwad Patches, who sets us up into a lot of traps.
Say hello to the nice giant. He adores visitors.
Basically lures us into these situations. And so I don't like patches all that much. But he has two different types of text. Depending on what you've done with the giants, if you breeze past the giants, then he will talk about how fun with the old, say hello to the old giant for me. And you might be asking, what was the significance of that? Well, that opens up the quest line to be able to continue our ongoing storyline with Sigvard. But here we have our buddies Horus and Henri. And because this is the Deacons of the Deep. They are a horde boss that use a lot of magic. So you want to have guys that can you want to have guys who can do crowd control, especially if you are a pyromancer. I'll say the last time I used pyromancer, I still brought the Astora straight sword in this fight just to do some crowd control, because this fight can get very quickly. And the big ones, each deacon is a little different. Each deacon's a little different. You gotta attack right now. The ones that are red, they are the ones you have to do damage. Very interesting. So, I have learned something new on this day. I will go out here and talk with Sigvard. You have to talk to him to at least trigger. And then I am going to go allot my Estus a lot better. That's a lot of souls, and I've never actually died on him before. Then again, I've never not used a sword. So, first time for everything. But let me burn the undead bone shard while I'm thinking about it, because that'll definitely help on the recovery process. Make it to where we're not so burdened on things.
It wasn't neat.
Okay, we need to allot our Estus. So we'll go 4 and 6. Normally you want to go the opposite way, but and I might in this playthrough, I might even do it to where I get point to where I have fast healing, and I might just try to go all Estus in on my Ashen Estus, and that way I can use healing arts. I don't know. We're gonna see. I might play that up later and see what happens with it. I know if I were to go into the DLC, it would be a bad idea.
Merciful goddess, mother of the...
We're going to see how this works out. I've never actually died by curse with them. I forgot that they do that. So that was an interesting experience. Not one I really want to share with them again. Basically, from the looks of that, it looks like magic is going to be our best shot. So, again, I'm struggling on the magic wielders. I've had other people put their signs down in these areas. I was interested to see if I would see some. Alright, so here we go. Round 2. Already gained some weapons. Now we're starting to run into some problems here. There's problems. And so here we stand, because this is a battle I don't know if I'm going to be able to win.
Merciful goddess, mother of the forlorn, who have no place to call their plea.
summon Sirius for this fight. This is just interesting. Alright. I'm really weighing it right now because I don't see a way of beating this guy. See a way of beating this particular obstacle. Back to Firelink. I'm going to gain this one level. I got all those souls right there that... Whew. This isn't necessarily going the way I'd hoped,
Welcome
but...
us.
Oh well.
Very well, then hey.
I want to stay true to this run. I don't want to give up on it strictly because I'm having problems.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the...
It's level 4 right now.
Do not be gone for what is... That is what...
That might help it a little bit. I'm gonna go at even 5 and 5.
Prithee, be careful.
this one another go. At 200 and 205. So we're at least we stand somewhat of a chance. Go. I think we're gonna go full sorcerer garb. And right here, and where are you at? To there. We're gonna go full sorcerer garb. At least try to defend some of these. Alright, so this garb we can at least defend against. Let's try our darndest to defend against the onslaught of the enemy. amount of souls on that one, that's for sure. That was good, that was good. Let's grab this stuff. Okay, so now we've finished this place. Kind of. So let's travel to the Clinton Chapel. Now we're going to completely finish this place. And I think I might finish with this area and at least get, I don't know. I have to think about it. I know I want to do probably would be good if I wrapped it up after this part right here. I will say this, I want my Dragon Rider bow so bad right now. Just saying, it would be a good thing to have at this point. Usually he doesn't just sit there. That's interesting. He gives you the deep ring. Okay. Get rid of these guys, they become a problem. This guy becomes a big problem. Lock on? Okay. Tight shirt, sure. I'll take that too. This is the armless. Yeah. It's a crossbow. I haven't really found a crossbow in this game that I've fallen in love with. So there's that. Go. Over there's a blessed gem. Unless you plan on equipping miracle status to your equipment, it's not really that worth it. Alright, down here. Oh look, it's our lovely friend Patches again. Okay. Now you can buy Sigvard's armor. Okay. Other than that, he really doesn't sell any. He sells dark arrows or poison arrows.
Thanks.
And so that at least fulfills that part of the deal. Now you can throw that armor to Sigvard and okay. You come in here. This is Rosaria's bedchambers. You get a few things in here. The significance of this is the covenant for Rosaria. You could come in here and you could offer her pale tongues, or you can respec. If you're gonna do anything with her storyline, you wait. Especially if you've never done Sirius's quest before, you want to wait, because as soon as you accept the Rosaria's fingers, Sirius will abandon you as a partner. She will not want to have anything to do with you anymore. So you want to wait on that. You can still do all of her. You can still do all the quest line involving the fingers at the end of the game after Sirius, because Sirius's quest line spans the whole part of the game up until the very end of the main storyline, and so it's just more worth it to just wait. I'm gonna use the soul of the Deacons of the Deep. It gives me 20,000. It's worth it after what I had to go through with the Deacons. So now you talk to Sigvard and you throw his armor down to him. So now Sigvard is good to go. This whole place is, the Cathedral of the Deep is good to go. And so now you just take yourself and go back to the Firelink Shrine. You want to use all these souls because the next place is literally what I believe is one of the harder parts of this game for any build, really, especially if you're a magic one, because you have a tendency to run out of magic in this next part. So, see if we have anything else. We have a few things we can sell, so let's talk with her. Sell these. Repair powders we can sell, because we're not going to need them with those. Sell, sell, sell. What else can we sell? Oh, this. So nothing else really. We're still sitting pretty good. I could buy the undead Legion armor. Again, not going to use it too much, so to me there's not really a point.
Ashen 1.
Can't really upgrade anything,
Well,
so
Very well, then.
let's come over here and level up. Do 20 on that one. 20, 20. That should be fine. And then I think we gotta upgrade strength anyway. Ooh, that's a good level up for that. We can get them up to 190.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the
Sitting at 210 and 203 because of the ring that I have. still got plenty of standard arrows, so we're good. The only other arrows I would buy, there's only 2 other types that are even worth it. And that's the wood arrows and the large arrows. The large arrows do about 10 more points of damage, but have a little bit less range because of their weight. So we're going to see what we can do with the. We're going to see what we can do with the catacombs here. May not be a lot. I don't know yet. I know you get a Carthus, or you get the Carthus Pyromancy Tome. I don't know if this would be too early to try to go after the. We'll see how Wolner treats us. Okay, so most of these things, if they have the glowy eyes, they will respawn, as this guy did, because I clearly killed him, but they will respawn like little jerks. And that's what makes this area kind of really tedious, is those things will respawn all day long. Okay, these guys should be able to take out with pyromancy. We sometimes can run into some of these guys that try to respawn. That was rude. They drop Titanite shards, so they're good. See, that one had the glowy eyes, so he's going to be popping back up. And the reason there's if you see the composite bow, no matter what I do on it, I can level it up for days, and it's going to still be weak. It's a short bow. It's designed for quick fire. So I think I may have screwed up something. Okay, now these guys are the real problem. These guys are the ninjas. They are. You have to try to stun lock them as best as possible, or else you will have problems. They're the reason that I die in this place. Sharp gem, that's worth it. Guys with the curved great swords, not terribly difficult. They also drop Titanite shards. this place basically gives you an abundance of Titanite shards. So now, the hard part about this part that I'm at is okay, you see the twinkling titanite, that means a lizard basically decided to kill itself. So this next part that I'm at, I'm not quite at a bonfire yet, and that's going to be a problem because we got a giant skeleton that is racing barely down. Now, there's a reason we're waiting around for this particular ball of skeletons to eventually this particular ball of skeletons will break. You have to bait it to run faster. It gives you the undead bone shard, so it is completely worth every bit of time it takes. So we're in a little bit of a grind right here. We're reaching the end of our supplies here. Somehow both those arrows decided to miss. On a pressure plate, Carthus milk ring, makes it to where you get like some iframes of invisibility. It's like what those what those big guys were using on me earlier. And that is an easy way to take care of these guys, is to use this pressure plate. Whenever you see your experience go up after you've killed one of them, that means they're not going to respawn. So this one's not going to respawn. Okay, we got one thing I asked this back. That's good. That's good. Okay, do that again. Use any means necessary if it means getting me back to the next area. Or if it means getting me to the next bonfire, I am going to do it. Shard. So if you fall down there, you got bone wheel skeletons all day long, and that's just no fun at all. So, got our ember. Another holy ball. Got a large titanite shard. That'll be good for later. Success. We have the bonfire. So we made it. We got the bonfire. Now there's a certain NPC down here that is hard as a mess. Not fun to fight whatsoever. Night Slayer Soric, and he is a pain on the absolute hardest. He is probably one of the more, outside of Hamlet, he's probably the hardest of the NPCs. He just doesn't, he's relentless. He doesn't heal. That's the one benefit. Basically, is he's not going to heal. But he uses the Fume Knight Ultra Great Sword. And insane, actually. That was actually the easiest tunnel I've ever had. Normally he destroys me pretty handily, multiple times. So, see that I didn't have trouble with him this time was a real relief. Okay, now that area up top where we could have fallen to our death. We wouldn't have fallen to our death, but we would have fallen into this place that has the primordial ooze stuff, and it has bone wheel skeletons. Bone wheel skeletons are not they're not nearly as hard as they were on Dark Souls 2. On Dark Souls 2, bone wheel skeletons can really destroy you pretty effectively. This is the first time in bajillion playthroughs, I think, that I've actually gotten the shield. It's interesting because it's not a shield that we've been using. It's mostly attack oriented. As you can see, it's a bow. So, I'm not going to offer really anything in terms of blocking ability. But, okay. This is the Carthus Blood Ring. And as soon as you grab that, you have to dodge roll. Because that thing will jump. If those things fall on your head, they will sit there and just do stupid damage to your face. It's really irritating. But the goal right now is to completely get through. Oh, I forgot about that. That was bad. Okay, chalk that up to things that you shouldn't ever do. Okay, these things love to sit here and just throw kukri at you the whole time. Because they're just jerks that way. Now, this guy, you see he's got the glowy eyes. So not only were these guys bad enough, but they gave them the respawn, which I'm not a fan of. This particular one, this is the only one in this area that has the auto respawn. It took me a long time to figure that out because I was like, oh, I thought I killed him. That's what you want to do. You want to stun lock him and end him that way. And there's another one. So this area up here had two of these guys. Only one of them is the respawn guy. Only one. So that's the attack you definitely want to do. There it is. Okay. Well, we tried. The guy with the Carthus, the guy with the arrow with the Carthus rouge on it, really kind of got me on that one, and made it to where that was definitely going to be a challenge. But we almost got through it. If we would have got through that part, we could have came back in here and we could have healed up and not died and not have to now go fetch our souls and hope to God that they're not in an area to where it's going to be almost impossible to get them. Okay, so they should be over in this area. Damage actually. Where he went, did he just like disappear into the wall? I'm kind of curious now. Yeah, that guy tries to get you to chase him. So should be a fire gem. Sure, let's do that. I've never summoned guys for this fight, but I mean, sure, why not? Let's gank them. I'm perfectly fine with that. Warrior sunlight. Dunan, Idaho. Alright. Whoa there. Oh, there he is. Back. Just hit it. It is hard doing this with magic. Ah, shoot. He has one of the higher amounts of he's got the black serpent. But here we go. We did it. This is probably where I'm going to end this stream now. I'm probably going to do some leveling up. Have to. I'm probably going to go down into the smoldering lake because that's down there. But it's also where I can get the bow.
No, we the boundary uphill and.
Alright. How you going?
I just now this cool.
Welcome us. Very then take.
Okay, so you can choose to upgrade some things. believe I need to have it at 20 to be able to use the bow. So, the Dragon Rider bow. And I think I got enough.
Well, this is...
No, he can't use the Grave Warden. That is the... Still too little. Okay. Learn Pyromancies. So, with the Carthus thing, it gives us Carthus Beacon and Carthus Flame Mark. Two pretty solid. Two pretty solid things going on.
Do not be gone. What is it?
But that's about all we can do. The level up, the levels up. Where necessary. I know it does strength, but that is basically to prepare for the. I can go turn into Soul. It'll be the first one I turn into him. No, wait, I did Forts just because of the ring.
Ah.
So yeah, you can get Wolner's Holy Sword or the Black Serpent. Black Serpent's an interesting pyromancy. Now also what we can do is get some talismans. So, let's see what we have here. Burned that already, so attune spell. So I can either use this right here, or I can use the Black Serpent. Lightning Spear just gives kind of a... But we're sitting pretty right now. Sitting low 52, which is not bad to me at this part, especially with this build. Yeah, we've used a lot of help as far as summoning, but that's why they're there. I've beaten all the bosses by myself before, and yes, it would be interesting on this build, but for the sake of the fact that not taking a bajillion hours to be able to do is something I'm kind of happy about. But that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you for joining me. I'll probably be back on streaming tomorrow. Probably do a pretty lengthy stream tomorrow. Don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm probably going to take a break from this series and the Earthbound one, for at least just for a day, and play something else. But hope you guys can join me tomorrow. I'll probably be around midday when I'm doing this. So thank you for joining me tonight. I'll have these posted on YouTube and Twitch, so you guys can look at them if you want. So have that. This has been Raven Effect 176, and I will see you all later.